Hey guys, it's Brandon here. Now we're going to explore a former client of mine's gross rental income. She pulled in $140,000 in 12 months. We're going to explore her gross rental income. We're going to talk about doing a nice stellar remodel on your unit. But more importantly, you want to watch this video if you're a first-time investor or a seasoned investor, because this could be the difference in you making profit or not making profit on your oceanfront condo. Choosing the right broker to do your numbers and make a savvy investment decision is something you can't trust to just anyone. You don't want a run-of-the-mill broker who is all over the place doing all kinds of things that doesn't have the specialized knowledge about investments in oceanfront condos in our market. So I'm going to show you how Yvonne made $30,000 in profit her first year with a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom oceanfront condo that our team remodeled. Let's get into the video now. All right, guys, so I brought you out here to the Ocean Reef Resort today to talk about a conversation I had with a recent client investor in the past year who purchased a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom oceanfront condo. Now, if you'll look on your screen, I said to her, when would you like to make your next investment? Now, her response was, it depends on the wow factor and price combination. I see a lot of people struggle with their gross rental income, although I can't complain on my end. Currently, I'm heading to $140,000 in gross rental income for 12 months. That's from 7/1 to 6/30 with 2 months gap due to renovations. Guys, she's got a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom oceanfront condo right here at the Ocean Reef. She's bringing in $140,000 in gross rental income. So you'll see I said, what? You're heading into 140 GRI. You're crushing it. Yeah, you have to let me interview you and share your story. She, of course, agreed, which is super cool. Now, I went on a little bit further, and I asked her, well, how much profit are you clearing? If you'll skip down, it says net after HOA and mortgage might be around $30,000, which is not much until I refinance later and reduce that cost. $30,000 in profit. And she's going to refinance once interest rates lower, and she'll increase her profit margin even further. So do oceanfront condos make money? Absolutely. Yvonne has been in this game 12 months. She's already clearing $30,000 profit. It's her first time ever doing this. Ever. So can you, as a first-time investor, purchase an oceanfront condo and make profit? Yes. The people that know what they're doing make great, phenomenal money at this. If you're in that top 5% of Airbnb listings and VRBO listings on the market and you're crushing the competition, yes, you can make a phenomenal profit. Now, let's get inside of her unit and check it out. All right, let's get inside of unit 1126. Now, this is a pristine example of what you want on Airbnb to maximize your rental success. Now, there's an owner's closet immediately to the right. You'll need one of those for storing your supplies. To the left, we have our first bedroom, as you can see here, indicated by the number 1. To the left, we have a desk. Excellent choice, a mounted flat screen TV. The theme is beautiful throughout with the colors, closet, and then access to the first bathroom. You also noticed in the foyer, they have a nice little setup here. Now, this is bedroom number 2, indicated by the 2 there on the door. As you can see here, here's that access to the bathroom. Nice updated fixtures. Tub shower combo, as you can see. And again, keeping with the theme throughout. Closet. Of course, all of these have standard closets in them. But you'll look here. 2 excellent, beautiful beds. Again, keeping with that theme. And this room has its own private balcony. As you can see, beautiful view. Enough for 2 chairs. Chairs inside the room to house guests for extra seating. A lot of time people have guests on their vacations. You want to make sure you have enough chairs. Information here on the house rules. Again, beautiful decor on the walls. We come into the kitchen, as you can see. Now to the left, we have a closet, small closet. This is a cleaning closet. To the right, we have a stackable washer dryer combo and an HVAC. And then we have stainless steel appliances, beautiful cabinets. Absolutely stunning, guys. Look at that. It is beautiful and a gorgeous island. Now let's get into bedroom 3. Again, indicated by the 3 on the door. First, we have the restroom, beautiful fixture, tub shower combo here. And of course, another closet. They have a desk in here, excellent choice. Again, keeping the colored theme throughout, absolutely stunning. It is beautiful, it is coastal, and it has its own balcony. Well, it shares a balcony with the living room, which we're just gonna venture out on, and it wraps all the way around. Now this balcony is one of the masterful touches that causes this unit to rent so well. It's absolutely sweeping and huge. I'm gonna show you more of that as we enter the living room. That way you get the full understanding of the balcony, but it is the money maker. Now, look at this. The decor all matches. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Beautiful table, plenty of chairs, plenty of seating, beautiful decor, gorgeous light fixture. Our master is across the way there, but we're gonna first examine the living room. You'll notice the mirrors on the wall reflecting what's going on that ocean. Absolutely stunning. The telescope for an added touch to watch the stars with your son, or drink wine with your wife and gaze at the stars. Flat screen TV, you'll also notice mounted up there. And then our moneymaker, this gigantic, huge balcony. It does attach and go into the master, but I just want to give you that view. There's your demand all along that beach right there. There's your demand. And this balcony is sweeping. It is the prime prize of this unit, the balcony. You have to have a massive sweeping balcony like that. Let's get into the master. As you can see, guys, flat screen mounted, seating area with light, beautiful decor, of course, keeping with the theme. And of course, your own private balcony. Well, excuse me, not private, but your shared balcony access. Again, a closet. And then we come into the master bath, a much larger vanity fixture. As you can see, gorgeous lighting, it's a tub shower combo. And they have kept with the theme beautifully throughout this unit. Now, one thing I do want to comment on is the fact that Yvonne came in and did do a remodel using our contractor on her Oceanfront Condo unit. Now, her unit was making $100,000 a year before the remodel. Now she's making $140,000 a year. It goes to show you that the little bit of extra money you spend up front in remodeling and designing and putting the right colors, all of that investment is going to pay off over the long haul. Think about it. You put $50,000 in it the first year you own it, but you're making an extra 40 grand a year in gross rental income. Obviously, if you own that property 5-10 years, it's going to more than pay for the small amount of initial investment you put in it that ensures it's in that top 5% of Airbnb listings on the market. Now, guys, I get calls all the time, emails, text messages from people just like you, first-time investors, seasoned investors, husband and wife couples that are looking toward a retirement. They're 10 years out and they're transitioning all of their assets, all of their cash into hard assets that generate passive income. If that describes you, then you're in the right place. Give me a call, send me a text message, shoot me an email so that I can help you make a savvy investment decision in the Myrtle Beach market. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because you can enjoy and increase the passive income of your oceanfront condo through the 20 to 22 million tourists that visit the #2 vacation destination on the East Coast each year. Not only can you enjoy the equity paid for by visiting tourists, but you can also anticipate the over 100% appreciation experience at many of the oceanfront resorts in our market during the recent decade. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because you can depreciate them, reducing your overall tax burden, keeping more money for you and your loved ones, and ensuring unnecessary taxes aren't paid. Now guys, as I mentioned, we are outside of the Ocean Reef Resort. As you can see here, it is busy, plenty of people. We are, it's July, so it's one of our peak months. Now your peak months are April through September, and June, July, August being some of the more, the highest peak out of all those months. There's your front desk. Now I will throw out, guys, that your HOA fee is going to include electric in the common area, water and sewer, trash pickup, elevator service, pool service, landscape lawn, insurance, manager, common maintenance and repair, electric in the unit, internet access, and pest control. I do want to just really quick show you some of the on-site amenities. As you can see here, families, people out playing, having a blast. We do have a nice little gift shop here to our right. And straight ahead, we're gonna come up on the restaurant. As you can see here, plenty of people inside eating. You have elevators to the right here. We're about to hit those up. There is the Banana Boat pool bar right there, but it is closed. And then as you see, the pool is packed with tons of vacationing guests. And guys, that's where it's at. Now guys, back behind me is the demand for these oceanfront condos. All the people at this pool, all the people on site on the beach is right there in that gross rental income number. That $104,400 that this unit brought in is signified by the people sitting all around this pool and using all of these great on-site amenities. I tell my clients all the time, you need to be most interested in the gross rental income number for your unit, because that's going to tell you how well the location is doing, how well the unit is doing, how happy the people are with the staff. As long as people are renting your unit and that gross rental income is bringing you in a great profit, well guys, that's all you need to worry about. You don't need to, be looking at the south end versus the north end and this end versus that end. And, is it close to attractions? The gross rental income for the unit tells you the demand for that unit. It's got all of that information calculated in. Really cool bar right here outside, tiki bar. And then this is the outdoor seating for the restaurant. And of course you have your beach access. Now guys, what I want to show you is, see all those umbrellas? There's your demand all along the beach. Let's zoom in just a little bit. As you can see, all along that coast, guys, are umbrellas with people on and on and on and on. There's your demand. Just more proof of the demand right back behind me. You'll see crowds of people waiting for the elevators. This place is booked, guys, and people that own oceanfront condos right here are making money. And now, it is the moment you have been waiting for and one of the most exciting parts of the video. Let's break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. And then I'll give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. Guys, I am excited to go over these numbers with you. Man, we might have found the most profitable oceanfront condo to date yet. Now, let's do the numbers for Ocean Reef, Unit 1126. You got a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom oceanfront unit. Real quick, before we jump into this, why this unit was so successful? Because of the balcony. Bottom line, there's a competitive strategic advantage if you can find, Compass Cove has them, end units that are oceanfront. They have the wraparound massive balconies. Those units are going to far outperform the other units on the market. People want the balcony and they want the ocean view. Now, this unit in particular has a gigantic balcony, and in my opinion, that's why it does so well. 4 beds, 3 baths. Your average sold price in the previous 2 years was $586,350. Your down payment on that at 25% was $234,540. Your gross rental income for Unit 1126 was $140,000. Your Airbnb platform fee was $4,200. That's 3% of your gross rental income. If you take that $4,200 from the $140,000, you are left with a subtotal of $135,800. Now, principal and interest annually on this property was $39,636. That assumes an 8.25% interest rate over 30 years. If I'm honest, the interest rate on Yvonne's is a lot lower. Anyways, let me just throw that out there. So your taxes for 2023 was $5,636.12. That's your property taxes. Now, you do have an additional property tax for your furnishings. It is marginal. I don't include it here, but you will have to pay for investment properties, your furnishings. You will have to pay a personal property tax as well. Now, your cleaning services, I've got you at $7,500. That's 30 cleanings at $250 a cleaning. Here's the deal here, guys. Okay, when you're first starting out, you're going to want to get as many reviews as possible on your unit. So you'll allow for 1 day, 2 day, 3 day stays. Obviously, the turnover is going to be a lot more, so you have a lot more cleaning cost. All that said, after you've built online credibility and a name for yourself, then you can do what I see what I've heard a lot of investors do. They do 1 week minimum stays in Myrtle Beach. So then your cleaning cost will decrease after your first year or two. Once you've built that online credibility that you need, then you go to those 1 week minimums and your cleaning costs go down. Now, your excise tax, that's $973. That is essentially, it's $145 base fee for your first $2,000 in gross rental income, and then $6 for every $1,000 you make in gross rental income after that. That is to have a City of Myrtle Beach business license to own and operate a short-term vacation rental business in the city. Now, your local hospitality and accommodations tax, $4,200. It's technically 1.5% to Horry County and 1.5% to the City of Myrtle Beach of your gross rental income. Now, your annualized HOA dues, $31,080. This is where a lot of your first-time investors cringe, and maybe even some of you seasoned investors. Yes, Ocean Reef, it has high HOA dues. And at the same token, because of those value-added decisions that the HOA board makes, it's what keeps the tourist coming back. Now, a lot of people freak out about HOAs, and they're all anti-HOAs. HOAs protect property values. When we get to the appreciation, and you've seen that this unit has appreciated as much as $35,000 per year in the last 7 years, you can understand the value of having a solid HOA. The HOA consists of people that own and live on site at that particular resort. They don't want to pay those fees any more than you do. But if they don't keep up all of the on-site amenities there, then tourists aren't going to come back and the property values are going to drop. You'll be glad that you had the accountability of an HOA making smart and sound value-added decisions for your investment when you get ready to sell that property, and you're collecting $35,000 a year in appreciation. Now, your subtotal was $89,025.12, bringing you to a projected profit. If you subtract the $89,025.12 from the $135,800, you have a projected profit of $46,774.88. Now, I know that's a little bit higher. That is $15,000 higher than what Yvonne projected. This is what I want you to take into account. She didn't rent the property for 2 months due to it being remodeled. So I believe it's safe to say that you can see that extra $10,000 to $15,000 come in if you could rent it 12 months out of the year. Guys, I just want to stop for a minute. You know, when I recently did a video, or sometime this past year, on the top 5 resorts in Myrtle Beach. And I noticed that Yvonne reached out to me on YouTube and dropped me a comment, and she was like, well, what about Ocean Reef? Because obviously she is crushing it at Ocean Reef. Now, I will say that her condo is technically the most profitable oceanfront condo I have found to date, period. $45,000 in profit, guys. I mean, let's just take a moment to let that sink in. Yvonne came in with no prior experience. This is her first 12 months ever doing this. $45,000 in profit. Where can you go buy a property? You can't do it with long-term rentals. You can't do it with short-term rentals to block off the beach. You can only do it with oceanfront condos. $45,000. We're talking about a 20% cash on cash return. Guys, come on. Real quick, I want to go over that top 5 list. For all of you investors wanting to know the top 5 places to invest in our market, in my opinion, it is very easily going to be Ocean Reef is number 1, Dunes Village number 2, number 3 is going to be Bayview. Bayview Resort has these lockout units that give you the flexibility of renting in multiple ways. They've got some nice 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom units, and it's strategically located right on the boardwalk. Phenomenal. That's probably 3. Number 4 is going to be Caribbean. Number 5, I would probably say Sand Dunes. Those are going to be your top 5 oceanfront condo resorts in the Myrtle Beach market. Now, I don't know. I mean, I'd probably have to check into the Breakers. The Breakers might do really, really well. They had a really nice remodel in there. That might be a good one to look into. To date, I haven't found any great rentals in there. However, the remodel in there is phenomenal. They use some really high quality stuff, and it's sharp. All that being said, guys, that's your top 5 oceanfront condo units. Oceanfront condo resorts in our market, in my opinion. Those are the places I'm going to tell you to invest to ensure, of course, I can never guarantee profits. The numbers I see, you'll be in the 20s in profit. You'll be making $20,000, $25,000, $26,000, $29,000 in profit a year at those 5 if you know what you're doing. Now let's real quick cover your appreciation for the Ocean Reef 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom units. 2017, if you would have bought a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, the average one was $336,784. You fast forward to 2024, 7 years later, your average price is $582,700. Your appreciation is $245,916. Guys, that is $35,130.85 in appreciation per year. So you're making $35,000 a year in appreciation, plus the units bringing in $45,000 in profit, $46,000 in profit. Not to mention, you've got the taxable income write-off, the taxable income deduction that you can take from depreciation. Guys, the benefits are really starting to stack up here. As far as a smart investment, I don't know how you can get any smarter. Now, yes, you can go to the stock market and get a better return for your money, but you're also going to be taking a lot more risk. In my opinion, Myrtle Beach Oceanfront condos are the perfect mix between the stock market reward and then your average property. They're in a league of their own. You can invest in bonds. Yes, it's really safe. You're not going to make you're not going to make a lot of money. You're not going to get rich off of it. It's safe. You can invest in long terms. It's safe. Again, you'll make a little bit more money than bonds. You can invest in the stock market. You can make a lot of money. Yes, but you're also carrying a ton of risk. You can invest in short-term vacation rental properties, a block off the beach, 5 minutes from the beach. You'll do well. I've got some clients now. They invested over at the retreat at Glens Bay. They're 5 minutes from the beach, from Surfside Beach. They made $14,000 profit. They made some good money in appreciation in 2 years. It was a smart move. You cannot beat the amount of profit and the amount of appreciation that you get with oceanfront condos. It gives you some of the reward and the upside of the stock market, but it's still as safe as buying a property. So, in my opinion, it's the only way to go. And before I say the only way to go, let me say this. If you're now, commercial is in a whole nother league of its own. As you guys might have seen on the channel, I've started reaching out into multifamily properties. Commercial obviously makes tons of profit if you know what you're doing. Now, you're also going to be shelling out millions of dollars. It's going to be a whole lot more expensive. It's a whole nother level. It's a whole nother ball game. So for those of you that are just starting out, oceanfront condos, if you're trying to decide, do I do a long-term rental? Do I do a short-term? Well, what do I do? And you're under $600,000. Your best bet is an oceanfront condo. It's going to have the most upside, hands down. Hands down. If you don't believe me, watch the investor interviews on the channel. Matt Freeze, Gosha Cook, Rufia Nigro. Rufia Nigro owns 27 oceanfront condos. She lives in Florida and owns all of her oceanfront condos here. Our market is cheaper. It's a cheaper cost to entry than Florida. Our market is a value buy. It's the smart move. And the oceanfront condos make the same profit in both places. It's just our properties are cheaper here. It's a smarter move. She owns 27 oceanfront condos here. Gosha Cook, she owns 15 oceanfront condos here. She also owns 2 commercial properties. Commercial is where it's at, guys. I'm not gonna argue, but if your price point's not there and you can't afford it, then don't play that game. And if you're under $600,000, you want to be in the short-term vacation rental game, specifically oceanfront condos. Now, outside of that, Matt Freeze, he did own 11 oceanfront condos. I think he sold 2 of them. Now he owns 9 oceanfront condos. Guys, watch the investor interviews. There is tons of valuable content and valuable information that you'll need so that you're prepared and equipped to own and operate short-term vacation rental properties like oceanfront condos right here in our market. Finally, guys, let's get through that depreciation. With a $586,350 purchase price over 27.5 years, the IRS allows you to depreciate this property. You're looking at $21,321 in depreciation that you can write off each and every year by owning and operating this property. In other words, if you're making $45,000 profit, you're taking a deduction of $21,000. You're not paying taxes on all that money. Additionally, for those of you high-income earners, you can do something called a cost segregation study. Get with your CPA, find a CPA, reach out to me, I'll help you find a CPA that specializes in cost segregation. Essentially, you could be writing off as much as $40,000 by accelerating the amount of depreciation that you can take off on your property. It's a very, very smart move for high-income earners. You definitely want to check with your CPA about that.